All right, whew, it is loud out there. We did have a successful trip out, scavenged some stuff. Welcome back to Art of Craftsmanship. My name's Dustin. Today in the shop, we're gonna be making some apocalyptic Mad Max weapons. There's this great scene in Furiosa where Dementis is having a gang initiation and he's like taking weapons and he's throwing them down in front of people and they all have to fight to the death for the last 5 spots in the gang. Now, somebody hands him a couple weapons, these 3 weapons, and he throws them down in front of a group of guys. I don't think we actually see those weapons be used, but they're pretty cool. There's an axe made out of saw blades. There's a mace made out of kind of square metal dice things with spikes all over it. And then there's a club and it's got nails all on the end to make kind of a spiky club. Those are pretty cool weapons, so I thought it'd be fun to try to recreate those as close as possible. I have a screenshot here from the movie, and I think the first weapon I want to make is this saw blade axe. Now this is 2 circular saw blades that are interlocked and they're jammed onto the top of an axe handle. There's some type of binding right below the blades, and then somehow they're held on because otherwise they'd go flying off. So I'll have to figure out what I want to do, whether that's a bolt or a pin or something, and I'll figure that out when we get to that point. This one's got some smaller teeth. So maybe something like big teeth and small teeth. That's kind of cool. 1 kerf in to just short of the middle, and then I'll cut the other one all the way into the middle. And they should slide together. The one will hit the other and stop. And they'll just be slightly off, which I think will work. This old sledgehammer handle, or an older sledgehammer handle. In the movie, it looks like it might have been made out of an old bat or something. It's kind of hard to tell. It just looks like it's kind of fat on one end and thin on the other end. So I think this will work. We'll just trim it off and cut our kerfs. Ooh. Ooh, look at that thing. That is. Oh, that's deadly. I think it needs to be a little shorter, maybe not a ton shorter, but I think this is a little longer, so really not that much, maybe to like there or something, so maybe 4 inches. Yep. Yeah, that feels better. Yeah. Holding it. All right. Nice. I think I need to thin this a little bit out in here because at the bottom there's a swell. It kind of gets wider, and so this is even all the way. So I'm just going to thin it down some so that way it'll have that visual effect of widening at the end.
some blade teeth that are missing. We're going to cut a couple off. Maybe they got caught in someone's skull or a bone.
I'm going to do some aging on the metal. I got perma blue, brass black. Try a couple of things: brass black, perma blue, plum brown. I'm going to kind of just get some good age to it. So try a few different things on it. Different types of effects for different metals. The streaks and stuff become red. That's like that brown finish hitting those. It's definitely cool. This is really darkening up the metal and just giving it that aged look that we want. That's looking really awesome. And it had just great patina on it already because it's an older saw blade, but like this just darkens everything and gives it that contrast against the wood. It'll look real cool. As I add more layers onto this, it's darkening nicely, getting a little bit of a warmth to it, which is kind of what I'm going for. But it just has that age, like it's been used and rubbed, hand rubbed look to it. I'm going to let this dry and then we'll come back to it and we'll put all the finishing touches on it. But before that, I got to make a ton of spikes. The mace has spikes and the club's got nails and spikes in it. So I'm going to cut a bunch of spikes, a bunch of pointy things, and we'll come back together and start working on the next two weapons. I couldn't find a bat on my travels and scavenging, and I think that's what they used to make the spiked club. So I think I'm gonna have some wood here. We'll just make one. In the movie, the piece that we see is kind of cut and chipped to the bottom like it was broken and then taped. So I'm going to use the draw knife, kind of cut down on it, cut away some stuff, get it to look like that, maybe sand it just a little bit, and then we'll tape it up. Or maybe then we'll do some dye or something. We'll see. We're gonna head out to the smithy and pull the nails out of the vinegar, which they've been sitting in, to kind of take the zinc off the outside. And we'll see what we need to do to alter them to make them look like kind of the right shape for the clip. I'm gonna use the anvil and just kind of square them off a little bit. I think each of these nails is kind of sticking out somewhere between 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So I think I can cut them all around 3 inches or so, and that should be plenty. Then they'll be into the bat head 1 inch or 1.5 inches or so. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, okay. All right, so it'll fit tight. Nice. One looks cool. Ooh. Maybe does it need like one more, like here? Ooh, baby. Looks like the tape is wrapped, what I can tell, maybe halfway from the handle down to the bottom. I think with this we want some inconsistencies, so kind of like if I do stuff like that along the way, just to get some texture. And you can see I'm starting in the middle, I'm going to work my way up a little bit more, and then down, and that's more just I don't want to get the end of my tape. I'd rather have that somewhere in the middle. That's 2 down for the most part. We have to do some weathering and a couple more wraps and stuff. But now we're going to get on to making the mace, and that's going to be some welding. Now my level of welding ability is just about right for Apocalyptic Build, so let's go ahead and add on some spikes.
Nice. All right.
Now I need to get my length of chain, cut it to the length I want to go between the two, and then cut those and weld them on, and then there's one more piece that goes from the chain, and that goes attached to the handle. 6, 7. And that. Okay. is crazy. Whew. All right, now this is going to be attached to a handle. The handle kind of seems like maybe a broken off hammer handle, so I have one of them down the shop, obviously. And there's kind of a collar or something between, like a metal disc or something. So I think I'm going to take one of these extra squares. I'll kind of grind it off a little bit, round it some, drill a hole. We'll put that between the screw and the handle. Oh yeah. All right. Hammer handle. I think this broken hammer handle looks really good in the movie. It's kind of thick at the end and it gets tapered. And then there's kind of a big ball in the end, which I think we're going to put some tape down there. But it's all black. And so instead of painting it, I think I'm going to fire char it. Go. We're ready to do our fun aging and finishing touches at this point. Everything's created, so it's time to make it look like it's part of the movie and used. We do need to do the final wrap on this one. There was some type of string or something wrapped up here, so I have some black string and some smaller stuff, so I'm going to do a wrap here. Then we'll bring some paint down and start adding some age and some character to them. That's so much nicer. That little detail is so nice. Oh, yeah. A red, a little blue. I'm going to mix up two colors, one that's kind of mud and dust and one that's blood. Old blood that's kind of dried. You know, the dust and things, like these have been traveling through the deserts and the outback of Australia, and then we've got the blood, which is, you know, these have been used for other gang initiations, so we have this kind of dried bloods all over them. All right, well, these are getting pretty gruesome, which is fun. That's what we want for the character. That's what we want for these post-apocalyptic weapons. I think they're ready to give them a test. Well, that was crazy and brutal, but so much fun. I had a blast building all these weapons. These are my entries into the YouTube Knife Maker Challenge, Apocalyptic Build. And if you want to see all the other builders and all the other videos on people building these, check out the link in the description below. There's a lot of really great YouTube Knife Maker Challenge contestants and channels that are doing really cool things. So check them out, watch all the videos, comment, like, do all that stuff, but then go and follow the link in the description as well for the voting. We want you guys to vote on the video that you like the best. We're relying on your votes. We want lots of votes. We want lots of people watching and letting us know what they think was the coolest one, and that's going to be the winner of the Knife Maker Challenge. You can also find the links to the sponsors below, and those sponsors are sponsoring prizes for the viewers who are participating along with us, and that's on the Facebook page, the YouTube Knife Maker Challenge Facebook page. So we will be voting, the makers will be voting on those builds, and then the sponsors will be giving prizes to them. So it's been awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe out there, and we'll see you on the next video.